3 or 4 sessions. That's what we are planning. So we wanted to learn AI specifically in Salesforce ecosystem. So it's a good initiative Nimit is taking. So we will be announcing those things in the next 1 or 2 weeks after Diwali. This is the link of the community group, guys. If you wanted to get the notification, the event we are publishing, so you can go to this trailblazercommunitygroup.com and you can search Salesforce Admin Noida. So you can search many communities in Noida region, Delhi region. So how many of us have been knowing this URL, trailblazercommunitygroup.com? So आप लोग जाके search कर सकते हैं. Maybe if you are in any of the location you are traveling, आप कहीं पे भी जाओगे तो you will get some community group. And अगर कोई भी event होगा तो आप join कर सकते हो उसको. YouTube पे on YouTube also we have our group or channel as well. So whatever the session we are getting every month, I am trying to publish every session on that. So you can very well go and see. So initially we have got CPQ in the B2B, that is full series we have been announced and we have launched also, and there are some couple of more videos. We also have the page that is on LinkedIn, so you can follow for more information. There is a WhatsApp group, almost I think most of the people have been added. So if you now, you can maybe scan that and you can get yourself added over here. Agenda for today, so I'll be talking a little bit for the 24 Dreamforce takeaways, and then we will be moving to the generative AI, which Nimit will be taking, and then we'll be having games and light snacks, and then maybe we'll be having Q&A and networking. So it's been second Dreamforce event for me, although I am following Dreamforce from last 10 years, but did not get a chance to be there. But from last 2 subsequent years, I was there. So the first thing they have been announced by Mark Benioff, and even that is the main theme of the Dreamforce, that was the Agentforce. So who all are here, I think they know Agentforce or not, who are working Salesforce pretty much aware of that, but there are some of the folks who are not in Salesforce, okay. So you know what the Agentforce is? Okay. So anybody wanted to volunteer? Akash, you wanted to volunteer what is the Agentforce? Which has been announced by Salesforce in the Dreamforce.
Agentforce has been announced by Salesforce. Basically, there are different agents which can serve for different tasks like sales, service, wherever it is needed. Agent is given a topic and some instructions regarding it and the bunch of actions that it can execute. So the agent thinks itself and can perform actions on the basis of the user. These actions are non-reversible. And basically, Salesforce is trying to expand Agentforce. Earlier, it was just Copilot, which was just one single agent. Now you can create multiple agents.
Okay. How many of us knows this GitHub Copilot? किसी ने use किया है? ठीक है. तो basically Agentforce is nothing. It is pre-built agents. Pre-built उन लोगों ने एक chat bot kind of बनाया हुआ है. Obviously backend पे Gen AI है जो कि normally how many prompt you are putting day by day, they will be getting trained on that. So with the natural language, whatever you are putting them, so they will be getting action in the backend. For example, अगर make my trip के example में लेता हूँ, they will be using this. So what they have done, service agent they are having, sales agent they are having. So those come with the pre-built actions and those functionalities. But you can also get your own agents as well by defining topics and the action. So the agent, the approach they are getting to us is they are able to understand the natural language. If you are typing anything, so they will be able to understand. In the backend, they are using Atlas and also OpenAI, and that will keep on trend.
They are pre-trained model and they will not be stabilized.
So it will, yeah. So for an organization, it will be getting like if you are getting lots of prompt day by day. So for whole a month, like you will be getting lots of prompts. So on base of that, it will be setting a context also. Yeah. So Agentforce was on the middle of that, And then Agentforce World Tour we are having in 19th of November. That is happening in Delhi. So that is worldwide they are doing. So this time in India they are choosing Delhi only. Normally they are going with the south, Bangalore and Hyderabad. But right now it is coming to Delhi only. So seats are already been up. So maybe that is on the company wide. It is a invite only. So they are not approving all the requests. Maybe your CXO level might get that approval from the Salesforce. They will be able to attend that. So right now they are going to have it in. I'm not sure in Aero City. There's one hotel, Pullman. Third thing is Salesforce is going to invest around $1 billion. That's what they are planning for this year, 2025. Again, which I told already, out of the box agent for the industry is also. So as sales agent, service agent, they are having. For the industry was also they have built some agents for healthcare, for retail. So those are the industry and even for finance as well. Free AI certification training. So who are already not aware of that. So Salesforce does provide a web accessor portal where you can have lots of certification. So right now, normally Salesforce does charge 200 USD or 400 USD depending what certification you wanted to give. But they are giving this free AI. There is a AI and AI specialist. Earlier, they used to charge around 200 USD, but for a year of 2020-25 till December, they are giving it free. So did not leverage that. I urge them like you can go ahead, you can register, and this is free right now. No, not really. And even Salesforce is providing lots of training as well. That is the free training, 2 days workshop. So that was also happening for AI and AI specialist post. So I think in last month also they have been India team has been publishing those actually. So there was two sessions were there for each AI and AI specialist, and there were 2 slots also. One in morning IST and one in the evening IST. So the backend is Atlas Reasoning Engine. You wanted to learn more about it. So there's a whole portal on that in Salesforce. You can go and you can search Atlas. So in the backend of the Agentforce, they are using Atlas. That is again designed by Salesforce team only, and they are looking for the IBM and the Google partnership because who are new to the AI, IBM is the one top key player in the AI since decades. So they have got like good use cases as well. So they are looking more partnership to be entered to the enterprise level. Salesforce Foundation, who are aware of the Sales Cloud, Service Cloud. So let's suppose so far what is happening if I do have a client who wanted to use a Sales Cloud and now wanted to move to the Service Cloud. So they need to purchase the license. Even they wanted to use a fraction of the feature. Let's suppose 10% of the Service Cloud. So some clients are not moving to the Service Cloud and they are creating their own custom object. But now Salesforce does come with the foundation, which include some feature from the sales, some feature from the marketing cloud, some feature from the service cloud, and that is a package they are giving, and that is a cost effective. So specifically for the middle or small segment, they are coming with the Salesforce foundation. Pre-built industry agents, I think this is we already talked. So these are the snaps which I took in the Dreamforce with the Sanket and with Mohit. I'm not how many of us are following developers. There's a YouTube channel developers, Salesforce developers. So we will be having really wonderful session from Mohit. I am following this guy from last 6-7 years. So earlier he used to work in a code science. That was the product based development he was doing. But now from last 3 to 4 years, he is a how many of us knows what is a developer advocate? Who is a developer? What they do?
Basically promote, not say promote, but yeah, make people aware in various community events about the technology that is being built in a organization.
Yeah, so he is a senior developer advocate. So normally the video or the content he is posting is more on technical, and normally he wanted to urge people like to get and learn new thing, new features also. Recently, he got a chance to showcase that the release of the this spring 24 also. Winter also, I think he will be doing. I know. I also got a chance to visit SFO. These are the pictures from the Salesforce office from the SFO, because as a CGL we have got a chance to get a breakfast. in the 7 a.m. in the morning. So this is it from my side, guys. I think we'll move ahead with a second session of that. That is led by Nimit. Any question, guys? How many of us has been following Dreamforce? मतलब कोई follow करता है Dreamforce को?
Not some first session देखा था जो शुरू में था ना.
अच्छा, कितने लोगों ने Salesforce Plus पे देखा था Dreamforce के कुछ ही सेशंस? तो आपने सारे सेशन देखे थे या कीनोट ओनली?
देखा था मैंने.
ओके. So Nimit, over to you. Any questions, guys? कुछ डिस्कस करना हो तो we are here. Or should we move to the second session for us? Topic for the I'll be sharing this PPT on the YouTube channel. We are sharing this recording also, and we'll be sharing the PPT as well. So these are the top. There are lots of takeaways from the Dreamforce announcement, but these are the key things which I personally thought like should be shared on the AI specifically. So that is majorly for the enterprise level, and you can register that by going there, but I'm not sure that you will get in approval. Sorry. Which this event or what? 19th one? No, that is from the Salesforce lab. So there are two things. Community event, they are spreading like a Google groups. Okay, so they are giving lots of chances to the community, and they do that. That was a enterprise level event only. So that is led by Salesforce itself. Yeah, so even Salesforce partner company might be having a connection with the AE and the PM, so they can request them. I don't think they will be approving just by registration only. The Google one. So dev test is you can compare with the community this event now. The event which he is talking about, that is happening in all around the world. So one in a country only. So this time they are doing it world tour in AI in Delhi. So what I am telling is, even though you will register, you might not be getting the confirmation. So for confirmation, you need to get your who is leading the Salesforce practice in your company. You can reach out to them, so they can get you connected with the person. But that is what I know personally is it is mainly on the CXO level or enterprise only. They won't be approving any person, developer or those person. They won't be approving because not a chargeable. So they don't want. Even the Pullman is not having that much capacity, like 4,000-5,000 people. So I don't think they will be approving. That is the exclusive one. I think they will be getting approved. Any other questions, guys? Okay, let's. So should we proceed further? Okay. Is this working? Yeah.
Hello. 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 So am I clear now? Right? Probably before we start, right, when I start with my intro. So guys, after this, like I need to, pay your, kind attention towards like, what I'll be telling now. Because prior to this, the first session was more into like, the basics of Gen AI and the models, right, was just about the mathematics, when you say prompt, right, the prompt formulas, the model formulas, right, the inputs and outputs and functions. So, but now I'll be continuing further, but I'll just give a small recap. So, Arun, recap. I'll just be very fast, right? It will take little time, right? But before that, yes, obviously we are aware of like there are few people who are new to Salesforce, and we have now, obviously we had Einstein Copilot, right? And I believe you must have how much, how, I mean, any one of you have used Einstein Copilot? You have used. Where have you used?
Like generating summaries for a
I mean, do you have a particular org, or you have just used from the Trailhead?
sometimes on a particular project, sometimes on related.
So it means your company is using Einstein Copilot, right? Okay. And you have used in a Trailhead or in a particular org?
I used from related and attended some events related
Okay.
to it.
So, okay, I mean, so Trailhead, I mean, you would guide you regarding, how to do that, and there are multiple of, I can say playbooks that you would get, right, and attending sessions. But the only thing is that, I mean, working on Einstein Copilot, building prompt templates, right, using the, field generations template, or you can say Flex or record summaries and all, right? So these are something, right, when you work on on a real time project, that makes a better experience, right, instead of probably using on in a Trailhead, because a live experience something, it helps you a lot. Live experience, right? If you have a particular and an unlimited edition, right? So obviously Salesforce AI Einstein Copilot comes with that. There are multiple of setups, configurations and implementation that you have to do, right, to enable it and to work. And then you would find, when we spoke about agent force, you can build the agent, right? So I've been working, as currently I'm working in the company, and I'm working as a Salesforce AI consultant. I'm more into like Einstein Copilot, more into that, and now started working. So almost I have built it. As of now, I have built 4 to 5 agents now, right? And that is experiencing. I mean, it's making me feel very good. Right? Not only me, my clients as well. Though it is very industry specific, right? One of you have guys mentioned about like the data, right? Regarding the data, yes, the industry's data can be trained, right? However, the data should always be there on the Salesforce org. Obviously, the Salesforce AI works with the Salesforce CRM, right? Eventually said, if you plan to have any third party model, where Salesforce also do, when you have, when you write a prompt, right, on the right hand side, when you do a drop down standard and the model type, right, standard and custom, if you choose custom, yes, you can have the third party LLMs, I mean third party would say LLMs also, you can call it. And yes, you can create your own models as well, right? You can integrate ChatGPT or Gemini, right? So this is the the extreme world of agent force, right? Einstein Copilot is, yes, it's helping the industry, and it's really helping the industry. uh, and seriously, this is what making the industry craze about what is AI, the power of AI. When I when I show the demos regarding the AI, how it works, it's blowing out of you. If I ask anything, uh, suppose we all are working in the same team, right? And which department? So obviously, when you said, obviously you have to, the admin has a right to give the user permissions, right? Assign the and assign the person, assign the users, role hierarchies, and all. So after this, obviously you would ask the prompt, right? Okay, who is the person working on this lead? Who is the lead owner? Right? When what was the last email being communicated? What was the call log? What are the latest call logs? Everything comes in a fraction of seconds, probably 10 seconds, right? So this is the power of AI. But when I talk about the whole scenario of AI, how AI works, how AI functions, so there comes in, right? The generative AI, right? So we need to understand what is models, how model works. We all been fascinated, right, to use models when we go in the events. Wow, it's something click, 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 clicks. But behind all the clicks, drag and drop, what are the functionalities? How the model been trained, right? So there's a lot of things to train a particular model. It takes a hell lot of times, right? Because you need to define the inputs and outputs. It takes a lot of time, right? Because again, it depends on number of tokens, right? Whatever the tokens are. But again, the content, what you need to generate, if someone asks you on the chat box or something, right? Hi, automatically should reply, hi, this is AI assistant, how can I help you? After that, we need to ask certain questions. That person is called input, and what you have been training, that is output. But obviously the AI person would train the input and output, knowing the behavior of the customers. We are aware what he would type in word. But again, there's how to create a bot, right? How to create a AI bot. So that is again, it's a huge flow chart. but we need to have a basic understanding about the AI, right? I'll just move ahead. So here, my topic is unlocking the creativity of with generative AI models, methods, and mastering the future, right? So this is, I'll just cover up. This is the first session we had, right? So we discussed all the things. I'll just move fast. Introduction to generative AI now, right? These are the takeaways from the previous first sessions, right? Gen AI model types, application, how Gen AI works, right? Yes, there's a channel there on the YouTube of Salesforce admin group, so you can go and you can check that. So there's the same topic which I've covered. It's everything is there, right? But again, generative AI, what is the content that you write? It totally depends. No matter your grammatical mistakes, I mean, has been pronounced good or bad, but again, they understand, right? Obviously, they understand, and the more content you give, make, I mean, obviously, AI is not a stupid person, right? So probably you need to give good content, more content to get a precise answers, right? Probably one time answer would not would not be sufficient for you, right? So sometimes there might be many things, right? You might be hallucinated, you might be biased, right? But again, we'll cover up in the sessions only. So this is what Gen AI. I mean, whatever you write, it regenerates the content and give you this summarized way and a good article way, right? Machine learning, right? Again, so what exactly the AI is? So AI is a discipline. We all know that, and yes, and ML is a subfield of AI, and these are the on the top. So when you go on the, I didn't cover up the neural networks, right? But again, probably I was in hurry somewhere, I don't know. But again, I somewhere manage it. So deep learning, then ML, then AI. So we start with deep learning, then neural networks, then ML, then AI, right? These are come with models, right? Unsupervised and supervised models, right? So the above one unsupervised are unlabeled. I'll show you the example of unlabeled, and these are labeled. The Salesforce data that you see, list view, that's labeled, and unlabeled, there are companies, lot of companies working, so you can check their Excel sheets. These are labeled, right? Precise. These are unlabeled. So on this, how AI would judge, I mean, how prediction the AI would give the predictions regarding this particular, I would say, the data, the sheet that you have, right? It's not been labeled properly. What exactly? I don't know the headers. Obviously, we pick the headers, right? These are when we call about fields. We pick and we recall, we call it, right? So how we can judge? So this is unlabeled, and AI would not work in this. It's a bad. So here, let's go more deeper, right, regarding these two models, unsupervised and supervised. So supervised learning over here, when you talk about on the right, my right. So input data. I told you about when we train a particular model. So we put input, we train the model as per input and the output, right? Input data, we take it as X, right? I'll just go in the mathematical view. Input data, we take it as X, right? Then we put that into a model, right? We make that model understand this is the input X. Then it again, predicts that particular thing. It predicts the output from that input, right? And it compares and gives you the give you the expected output as well, right? So when we train anything, when we write a prompt, so you have figured out we are inputting things to the particular model, right? Behind the LLM would work no matter, right? But again, output which generates, again, every single, now even ChatGPT has now also come to store your informations now. Whatever the prompt you're writing, now it's storing your informations, right? Now if you open the ChatGPT on the left hand side, if you'd see there are a lot many charts happening. Whatever the conversations you're writing a prompt, it's just saving, and that is saving. Right, and if there is particular error, it again regenerates to the model. It goes to the model update. Suppose, example, if you're writing any prompt in ChatGPT, so you are not satisfied. Sometime, if you're asking anything, a company's personal information, I'm not supposed to answer this. I don't have enough informations. ऐसे कुछ होता है, right? So again, if you reframe the particular input, आप जो भी prompt लिखोगे, reframe that, again goes to the model, come back, and then it gives you the data. Probably it would give you not the person's mobile number, it might give you the company's number, which is might be there on Google, right, or company's website. And unsupervised, we just give the input, model, and generate example. That is like, give me the what is the real estate industry figures current in 2024. It would give you. It's a generic, right? I'm not just asking certain things. Again, deep learning is a subset of ML. So then we have deep learning. Again, neural network cover nahi kiya maine isme. I'll cover in in this only next. Then we have ML, then AI, right? So in machine learning, obviously, in machine learning we have certain learnings like supervised learning, unsupervised learning, then reinforcement learning, and deep learning. Right? These are the pointers. So now you can figure out supervised and unsupervised, right? So deep learning uses artificial neural networks, allowing them to process more complex patterns than traditional machine learning, right? So probably the more, this is what the complexity is, right? When you talk about the neural networks, there are many endpoints connected to each other, right? So we are connected. I mean, how many of you? Okay, how many of you use Data Cloud? Salesforce Data Cloud. Okay, we have attended right over there in AI Now tour, and they have shown Data Cloud. We have did hands-on practical as well in Data Cloud. There were many endpoints connected. We were like totally confused, and that was just a small thing. Neural networks. I'll just show you how it is connected. But to understand that, so obviously, when we the AI works very perfectly when you have a Data Cloud, right? Because that supports multiple of huge, plenty of amount of data, right? That's why the Data Cloud is built up to handle all the data, which obviously works in a supervised. So probably there are endpoints which are connected to each other. We need to map it. We drag that. We click and we map it, right? So same here in this. This is the point. I'm not. This is not a Data Cloud, but basically this is what it is. These are endpoints. I'll take an example. I mean, if you're particularly telling that who are you? I mean, what's the relation between you and you and him? Is that I am कभी सुना भी होगा, and we are little confused. हम सोचते भी हैं because we don't come from a particular. हमने कभी सोचा भी नहीं होगा. ये कौन है? मतलब मैं उसकी चाची का बेटे का फूफे का लड़का और उसकी बहन का जो लड़का हुआ ना उसका लड़का. I mean, it's totally confused, right? So for that we need to understand map. So ये तो I mean this is something like I mean where it is getting connected, where exactly it is. So these are just I have taken the input layer. These are hidden layer, right? I haven't worked on hidden layer, but yes, I'm getting the output. So for me, input is mine. Where exactly is connecting, where it is going. If you're asking anything on ChatGPT, right? If you're asking anything on ChatGPT, वो कहाँ से information लेकर आ रहा है? You're not aware. आपको ये लगा कि Google से लेकर आ रहा होगा. आपको ये भी नहीं पता कि कंपनी की वेबसाइट से लेकर आ रहा होगा. आपको ये नहीं पता कि Crunchbase, ZoomInfo, there are a number of things. You don't know, but it's giving you information. However, I don't know what data it's picking up, how accurately it is. We don't know, right? But we still, developers are trusting GPTs. But again, Salesforce AI trust only in Salesforce CRM. Now it is responsible, you are the responsible person to make your data accurate, right? Adding a zero, it's very good. But reducing 1 0 from the back, it's very bad, right? So your data should be accurately updated in your Salesforce CRM, right? So obviously Salesforce CRM, okay guys, I mean, you're not aware, like, I mean, I just tell you in Einstein, ETL, Einstein Trust Layer. मैं Salesforce की बात करूँगा, Einstein Trust Layer. So there are 3 conditions if any can tell me where Salesforce AI, Einstein Copilot, I mean, if I talk about Agentforce as well, they have, I mean, okay, I'll just make it short. What is zero retention policy? Please.
Not storing any input that we
Please.
whatever we provide the input to Agentforce like Copilot, that is not going to store by the ChatGPT or the neural engine for their further resources. Like right now, as we mentioned, like whatever we enter in the ChatGPT, it gets stored in a side chatbot. Right? But in a Salesforce, it's not going to store your information. But there is a clause. Salesforce can store it. Salesforce can use it. But our neural engine, this is not going to store.
This is one. Rest two.
Prompt defense.
I'm sorry?
Prompt defense, like it's not.
No, that is not zero detection. There is a part of the ETL, zero prompt defense. It probably protects the prompt injection attack. Attack from that is a different. But zero detection, there are three clauses. एक तो आपने सही बताया. The second thing, anyone can try. Okay. So guys, there are three things we should know. Obviously, Salesforce uses the LLM called OpenAI, right? Azure OpenAI, and GPT 3.5 Turbo. And there are many as well. They can use it, right? Obviously, when we study, when we prepare for anything, so obviously we get to know many things. So guys, if you are planning for AI specialists, as Arun has, told you about the free and certifications of AI, guys, go and study. You have many tutorials, right? And you have the playbooks as well on the LinkedIn itself, right? You can just figure out and you can go for it. Over there would be a lot of descriptions about the AI, what is being used, how it is used, what are the conditions, and I mean, what is the OpenAI is using? I mean, what exactly this Einstein Salesforce AI is using, right? Which OpenAI they are connected to. So coming back, there are three conditions. One is the data cannot be stored. Second thing, the data cannot be monitored. The third thing, that your data cannot be monitored, plus cannot be stored, plus cannot be trained by any OpenAI humans. Three conditions. That's it. So this is what zero retention. I would not cover up, ETL. I would cover up in my next sessions, wherein I would more focus on practical. And in that practical, no notebooks, only laptops, right? So probably we will do a practical hands-on. First, I'll explain you about the ETL, then we'll move to practicals, right? So we'll do creating the agents, agent force, agent actions, right? And we'll be creating a lot of samples, right? Prompt as well. There are many things, right? Sales assistant also we create, and we'll do a hands-on. How to search? I'm a probably I'm an agent and you're a customer. So we'll probably we'll work around with the industry standards. How customer, how to tell a customer about the Salesforce AI, right? Generative AI is a subset of deep learning. So this is what exactly. So you would find that on the YouTube link as well. I've explained there. LLMs. So probably it's obviously it's a subset of deep learning. So LLMs, there are many. Right now, now we have been using, we are more familiar with now OpenAI, right? OpenAI. So there are many, right? There are Delhi's as well, right? For image, for Google, Google is a particular AI. Can anyone tell me which AI Google is using? Huh? OpenAI. Gemini is a model. Vertex AI. So particularly they are using Vertex AI, right? So for that, and for again they have many things. When I talk about text to text, it's Vertex. So when I talk about text to image, what is the model? They are using Imagen, and there are versions to it, right? When you ask a Gemini that I need this picture or upload a picture, and you ask the description, it will give you the description. Right. So this is what there are many, right? However, what's in use. So as per our need, we need to understand it's not only about text to text, it's about text to image, text to speech, and vice versa. Right. Deep learning model types, discriminative and generative. So you can go on that again channel and you can watch. Discriminative technique and generative technique. So discriminative thing, you need to classify things in discriminative, right? That probably it's a dog or particularly it's a cat. And obviously in generative, that obviously if you show this picture, what will that would say, oh, this is a dog, right? So there's a difference. Here it's a traditional machine learning model. So these are the data, then these are labels, then predictive ML models. So learn relation between data and data and label and output. So when we train a particular data, train a particular model, so we put in information that this is the particular input and this is the particular output. So this is what the predictive ML models is. And generative AI, we just give the input, we get the output, like Gemini or ChatGPT. They understand, right? This is my input and this is what I'm getting it. Here's the difference. So when we train a particular model, this comes. ML system, if we give an input and we give it, then it goes to the LMs. Then obviously machine learning takes a part in that, right? However, it gives the output. And what is not Gen A? Not Gen AI. When Y is a Y means out. Take X is an input and Y is the output, right? Now we'll talk about not Gen AI. Y is a number discrete class probability. Is Gen AI when Y is a natural language, image, and audio. So we get this. This is the mathematical which I was referring to, right? So Y is an output. This is a model. This whole blue is a model. F is we can say a function, right? And you can take F as a model. Take F as a model. We put input in the model. So F in the bracket X, which input is there in the model. What it generates? Output. This is a standard only, right? It cannot be changed, right? So yes, this has been explained. Classical supervised in supervised learning, we particularly train code, then label data. So obviously coding is required, yeah, right? Python is huge in a large way, right? Then we use machine learning as well, right? And that's the thing, it's very huge now, right? But now people are very looking forward for just a click. But yes, there are people who are sitting backside now to work for AI now I believe I've seen on LinkedIn now there are now few companies now they have started with AI jobs, right? Now they are awaking now. So guys, more focus more on the AI part. Developing is there, that is good, but just inbuild something more. How you can bring something add on to your development using the AI. Again, it's something about Gen AI supervised and supervised models, right? This is train code, label data, and unlabeled data. The foundation model is there, right? And generate new content here, and this is the generation, text, code, and image, right? So you create it totally depends on your input, whatever the prompt you write, the way it generates. If you're writing that give me a particular code, it will give you the code. If your developers, they do write me a trigger with no bugs, but probably there would be a bug, right? Again, you would copy the error and again paste it on ChatGPT and just figure out what is the steps. So these, according to that, you will get the image, and totally depends on your content. Here, I will continue forward from here. That was over, and I'll continue from here. So generative language models, right, and image models. Language means whatever we write on any prompt, it regenerates our thoughts. Our thoughts, what we have wrote in any model, and it regenerates to provide a different content, right? So obviously it learns about a pattern, what exactly we are writing, what is the hooks, and then given some text, they predict what comes next. Right. So same here with image. So produce a new image. I have asked Gemini or I have asked ChatGPT, right? This is something, right? Give me an image out of it. You can say, this is my data. I need a graph created. It gives me. Referring, whether it would do that if you have 4.0 paid one, it would do that, right? Image. Now, types of Gen AI based on data. What are the data that you have? See, data plays a very crucial role, and that's why you can say the AI is far more better, very good, and very amazing. But it will be too dangerous as well. It totally depends on human brains how you would manipulate the data, right? It might be for your better use, for your corporate use, or might be for personal use, right? So if you want to something, the AI would also create changing your face to some other's face, right? That is also because now you might have seen this is the particular AI which I'm talking about. AI now too is a corporate, it's a B2B, right? We're building for this. But have you ever imagined when you scroll up your what do you say, Instagram reels? Have you seen certain ads popping up, say this is the app wherein you just stand, your face would be recreated, your background will be changed automatically. So that is the power of AI, right? I'm talking in terms of an entertainment purpose, right? B2B we all know, right? But again, I'm talking in terms of there are many things where AI is, I mean, more dangerous might be, or more fun creativity as well. So, input image. So these are the types, right? I'm just explaining you. So when we input any image, we upload any image. I mentioned, right, generative, the Gen AI. I mean, in types of learning. So when we specify dog and cat in Gen AI, when we post any image, hey, this is dog, right? And if it says every time if Gen AI says, a model says, hey, uh, this is cat. If I post anything, elephant, this is cat. So that word is called bias. Understand that. In AI associate, if you're planning to attempt your exam in Salesforce AI, there might be many questions, many words will be mentioned, and every questions bias, bias, bias. So you need to understand, right? What is biased? So when I input any image, so it give me output would be many. It might be a text that hey, this is a dog, or this is a cat. It might be again. It totally depends on image. If you add the image and if you want to have a return, give me an image from an image. It would give you a super solution image completions, right? Or you can add a photo and you can say, please classify or remove, make it 1080 pixel. It would give you. And output, obviously audio we all know, right? We have seen lot many Instagram reels. A standing man can speak lot. It's just a text need, or you can make a person speak, right, with your own imaginations, right? So this is what I'm talking about. The next is generative language models learns about patterns and language. So we need to understand patterns, right? I've also showed you the neural networks, how it is. So that is huge far away that we make ourselves confusion what is happening, right? That's the thing when I talk about ML comes on top of that, right? But again, understand the patterns and language through training data. Obviously, for anything, when I'm creating a model and I'm putting input and output, so obviously I'm training the data only, company's data, right? I'm making the aware. So this is my training. I'm training my model, right? Train your own dragon, right? So then give some text. They predict what comes next, what's happening, right? This is some example, right, of probably I can show you internet is working, right? Okay, so I'll just skip this, but I'll show you the example what exactly you can predict, right? So I probably, if I can play this, I can play this here. Probably I would not need to this. uh, it totally depends, again, prompt, human to human, right? What I'm asking. So if this was created when I was making something, I wrote a prompt over here. I hope you can see this, right? Hey, I am making a glass of whiskey. Anything. It could come anything. I'm making glass, or I'm making a peanut butter, right? I just wrote this. It gave me everything. Okay. Now my next. Want to have on the rocks. It is the continuation from my previous chat. The question which I've got it. Whiskey on the rocks, a classic choice. Then there's a guide. Again, I'm adding more things. Can you add a flavor? What exactly this is called? Reinforcement learning. That's why I didn't touch that topic. I wanted to cover in the practical. And I'm not done with it. I would ask as many. If you're stuck somewhere that I'm making up, I'm making a sandwich. It would ask a question. Okay, want to add something? Peanut, butter or jam, something. It would ask jam. Okay, what else you want to add it? Cabbage, right? Cucumber, anything. So these, I said, can you throw some flavor? So it is adding, using my chat. Till now, I'm not giving more content, but I'm continuing my conversation with my previous histories. I'm not even happy, but it's giving me, it's refining. This is refining this, search. Same goes with Salesforce Einstein Copilot, and even with Agentforce. When you ask question, it will not give you, it will not fulfill everything, right? You're right. Now, many, if you have seen many, even you can see my video as well on, I have been, you know, educating industries, B2B industries, that about use Salesforce AI, Einstein Copilot, what is the power of it, right? There's a video as well, how to write something, summarize. We all start with summarize this, but ask question, when was this happened, right? When was this lead, where was, where is this lead coming from? What is the lead source coming from? Might be Facebook, Twitter. Okay, which are the, how many leads are coming from which source? It will give you what is the number of these, right? So sometime the AI would not give you suggest answer, but you need to change it. You need to ask more, ask more. One time information cannot be completed. You cannot have all a fulfilled answer in one go. Possible ही नहीं है. You need to ask more questions, refine करो. This is what my refinement is. Reinforcement learning. I'm asking more things for model learning. I hope this is clear from here. Yeah.
So as you mentioned that they are using reinforcement learning over there, right? So it's migrating to the previous response in order to traverse the entire response. So what if the next question is not related with the previous one? Okay, now sometimes what happens is it travels all the responses from top to bottom, and then it generates some output that causes hallucination, right? So how to like handle that?
Okay. So in this case, if I talk about it, just taking this example, my it was asking more from my. I was just continuing the same conversation, right? I was continuing the same conversation with them. Now I have to cut down the conversations. It's just a matter of the learning, right? Here the learning would change. The learning would change if you ask certain questions. Okay, let's do one thing. I'll keep your point here. We'll do a practical. Okay, that will make clear. Okay, so how it works? So these are called like pre-trainings. We do a pre-trainings, right? Large amount of data, billions of parameters, and unsupervised learning. So obviously, when we talk about billions of parameters, it means unsupervised learning. बहुत सारे data है. Now we need to arrange it. We need to define. We need to put that right to get the output of that. So how it's going? Now just take an example. Just think you have chat GPT in your mind. Example. Or you can say Salesforce. Take Salesforce AI, right? Now think that data is there in your Salesforce org. How it's working? Now you're asking a prompt. You have given the input. How it's going? Input goes. There's a transformer, right? Transformer means like take your LLMs. It goes to the LMs, right? And here it goes encoding the component and then decoding the component. See, encoding and decoding means dynamic grounding, then data masking, prompt. That's the reason, this is just in my next session, so I'll help you to explain you. Just think in your mind, this will help you a lot. When I talk about Einstein trust layer, this will clear all your doubts, everything in a fractions. Then it decodes here, then generative pre-trained transform model comes. Here the model takes part, right? LLM to ho gaya, ab model pe aa gaya, then output. I'm doing all right. Thanks for asking. How are you? So think the fastest way, right? It takes, again, I told you it takes a lot of time to explain about, to train a particular model. But for a human, when we write something on chatbot or AI on prompt, it gets information, right? It buffers and it gives information, right? So this is the backend part, how it's helping, right? So this is the pre-training. Hallucination, right? So obviously the word and the phrase that are generated by the model that are often nonsensical or grammatically incorrect. I mean, how can you say that? Like, just taking an example of Lohia. Lohia, I hope you are aware of Lohia Group, right? They're into real estates. How can you say that they're into, they're into non-residentials, or probably they are into, you can say they're into like constructions or building materials. So that's incorrectly well said. Hallucinations, right? You're giving the industries, that is that what Loya Group is having. You're not putting that, and you're putting that. You're sounding it very incorrectly about explaining what the industry of a particular company, right? So that is a word hallucination. I'm just giving you a good example. Simple. Challenges, hallucination challenges. Yeah. See, challenges here. Probably the model is not trained on enough data. This is how it is, right? Might be there are mix up of data. Zoom Info. How many people have used Zoom Info? Okay, good. Apollo. You're from sales? No. Okay. Okay. And how many of you use Lucia? Okay. So and LinkedIn, obviously we know. If you could go and search, uh, probably any company, XYZ, like any industry, manufacturing or something. Every portal, Apollo, Zoom Info, Lucia, they would have different industries, different informations. Sometimes in LinkedIn they put strict, industry. So these are called primary. And some companies, some portals they put, say sub industries, secondaries, all many, right? So these are different. So how to predict which one is good and how we only don't know. We don't know that what the AI would take when we write something. What is the industry of this particular company, XYZ company? What exactly? Where is it? We would trust what is giving the output, right? But again, if you go on LinkedIn or Zoom Info or other websites, Crunchbase, you talk about Duns and Bradstreets, you have different I don't know what different types of industries, but some are related to that only, right? So NAICS code, SIG code, there are many things, right? There are multiple of SIG codes, there are multiple of NAICs, but they only belong to a particular industries. They are linked with that, right? So this is what the model is not trained of enough data, right? The model is not trained is trained on noisy or dirty data. Dirty data means unstructured, unsupervised, which I've showed you. The model is not given enough context, right? And the model is not given enough constraints, right? So this is what the challenges of hallucinations. That's why it's sometimes it sounds cracky or little noisy. Incorrectly it sounds. This is the part of hallucinations, right? Normally hallucinations, it's not a huge thing, but you need to understand. Just understand this. That's why don't go deep in more in hallucinations. But yes, when you understand, when you attempt a Salesforce AI associate or specialist, if a question comes regarding hallucination, your mindset should be very simple and thoughtful. Okay, hallucination to ye hai, ye nahi, ye answer hai. That's it, right? There is nothing such. Don't go read a book on this.
I have a query.
Yeah.
Can we consider duplicacy inside it as a hallucination? For example, if I am searching related to Apex code, sometimes it misunderstood as a Java code and gives output as it is like a Java. Can we consider that?
No, we cannot consider that. Reason why? Because you're talking duplicacy in terms of the records, or what exactly it is?
In context of language, it
Okay.
understands the syntax, just think it is a Java syntax, but it's actually a Apex syntax. And it gives output as
No,
Java.
that is not hallucination. Probably for the language that if you write anything like C, C++, sometimes the syntax are more similar, right? But it understands, and as per your writing, obviously you would write a single syntax, right? You would write a little code. So it doesn't, it goes on the line, and overall it matches your expressions, syntax, and it just gives out, okay, this is a C++. Because sometimes C would not have that, but C++ or C# would have, right? So that is, that is not a hallucination over there. Morally, hallucination works more on the your records, data, and all these things. They work on that only. Prompt design. The quality of input determines the quality of output. When we create a particular model, I just imagining where Salesforce AI, when they started Copilot, all these, they had to go with all these things. They had a plan. They had to go. They had to design a particular Einstein. That icon on the top, you click, you get a prompt, right? So I mean, just imagining when they started using the prompt designing, they had to train the data which is there on the Salesforce org, right? How when we write something, it should be relevant to that industry specific only, related to the data that we have in Salesforce. So just imagining, this is my prompt. I'm just taking an example, summarizing a text of X. X means input. Okay. Generate a dish in the style of X. Give me a list of keywords based on the semantic similarity of X. Right. So input here comes large language model, then output. Summarizing. कभी देखा होगा आपने agent force में summarizing, summarize आता है ना, you click and you get that, right? So there are predefined, you can say labeled. If you click, they understand कि आपको summarize ही चाहिए. Then you're writing it. Then keyword extractions, exaggerating, right? So these are things, right? By the way, what I'm explaining you, ये जो बता ये बहुत पहले आ चुका था. I mean, many years back. So probably I think that obviously Salesforce is also using that particular thing, and obviously they have did tremendous job in this AI. So here it is forming the database, inputting a prompt, generating content, right? I'll be sorry for my mistake here, right? Forming a database here, inputting a prompt and generating the content. So we form the database, then we input, then we write something on a prompt and we generate the content. Model types. Now I'll be very specific here. Model types is obviously text to text. Yeah, you have a question.
I'm a bit late to this question, but this is an incident. Okay, so I prompted something about leap year.
You can take a mic. I'm hard of hearing. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, prompted something about leap year, and so the like ChatGPT was calculating a leap year wrong, so it was skipping one of the years. So after arguing for about 5 to 10 minutes, it agreed with me. So I wanted to ask, like, does it actually update the database? It is actually learning, or it is actually just updating my account?
There is no such database of any models, right? When I talk about deep learnings, neural networks, they are internally connected with the triple W's, World Wide Web, right? So it means whatever information is stored on Google or somewhere, it is just manipulating humans. You are not aware from which website that leap is getting wrong. I don't know who has updated, who idiot has updated. So that is mixed matching. That is a main problem over there. We are humans, we are not aware where exactly the right information is, right? So better what we do is that we normally ask on Google, but for easy access, we use models, like which leap year or probably which informations or what exactly it is. So probably, can you tell me what your question was when you were writing on the prompt? Can you tell me that? What you were asking?
It was a long time ago, but it was something like it was skipping 1 year.
But what was your question in terms of the prompt when you're writing? It totally depends on your.
Maybe a question to find a leap year code.
I don't remember the question, but I remember the incident. So that is why. I asked something that this year, this day, the day was Thursday, something like that. I asked, and it was totally wrong. It was skipping 1 year, and then I argued ChatGPT for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then it agreed. So yeah.
It won't update the database because it's like ChatGPT learns all the previous nodes we gave him. So let's say you may manage to convince him that 2 plus 2 is 5. It will give 4 only because what it is doing, it has learned from hundreds of websites and it knows it is 2 plus 2 is 4. But in the prompt where I said 2 plus 2 is 5 and I managed to read.
I'll just let.
So what happens is ChatGPT learns from what I told him, and then he is going to use what I told him to answer my further prompt. Then in my original prompt, when I will ask him what is 2 plus 2, then it will give 5 only because it learned from me.
So that is a score. It's basically scoring by itself. If you are having your own score,
But it won't update the database.
So does it like something particular reinforcement learning for that particular period of time?
Yes.
Like he made a prompt and like that after that he made argue that he 2 plus 2 is 5 for the ChatGPT for that context. So does that ChatGPT made the reinforcement learning for that period particular
Yes,
chat?
Yes, 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 yes.
तो अगर आप लोग और थोड़ा सा देखना हो तो we did have a session on this one to एक किया था session that is on the YouTube channel Salesforce admin Noida group के आप जाके देख सकते हैं he pretty much explained this तो होता क्या है जब आप ChatGPT से किसी से पूछते हो तो पहले आपने कुछ क्वेश्चन पूछा प्रॉम्प्ट किया सेकंड क्वेश्चन तो उसका वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट लेता है आपको नहीं पता वो ले रहा है बट पीछे से वो डेटा उसके साथ कनेक्ट होके जाता है तो द सेम इसको बॉडी सेम 2 + 2 5 आपने इससे एग्री कराया पर अगर मैं उसको ओपन करूंगा मेरे को 2 + 2 4 ही दिखाएगा पर वो अगर नेक्स्ट टाइम ओपन करेगा तो उसका कॉन्टेक्स्ट वो स्टोर करके रखता है तो उसका कॉन्टेक्ट अगेन सेल्सफोर्स का भी सारा का सारा ऐसे ही है सेल्सफोर्स में आप एक और में आप जब क्रॉस बोले थे एजेंट फोर्स का तो वो कॉन्टेक्ट रखेगा नेक्स्ट टाइम उस बंदे की कॉन्टेक्ट तो वो सही डेटा देगा
Because in Salesforce, you can also train your agent force. कैसे? If you have opened, if you go on agent setup पे जाओगे, agent पे जाओगे, and आगे to be continued. मतलब मैं आगे बताऊंगा. I mean that is like when वो ये exciting है how to train the agent force, right? Through agent actions.
And we'll talk more on that, guys. That's what we are planning to have a hands-on session on maybe after Diwali. maybe एक week या 2 या 3 session का प्लान कर रहे हैं क्योंकि और आपको 5 दिन नहीं मिलेगा अभी not doing the more than 5 days
मेरा भी वर्क खत्म हो गया 5 दिन हो गए पूरे but still anyway I have the paid one so I can help you with that but still how you would work we are figuring out right yes you have questions
Yeah, so just for the sake of curiosity, like I'm not very much aware about the Salesforce cloud. So as you are developing a model like sales agent, right? So while training that model, what kind of DB you are using? Is it like SQL, non-SQL, or maybe GraphQL is mostly used for storing the vector embeddings for a quicker search? So is Salesforce following the same or something else is being followed?
see Salesforce follows each and everything but the only thing is that when we see I'll be very simple and specific when we are training on anything obviously the data comes from any sources right we probably what we do the first step is simple data import we do that we want to update that right the second thing is that obviously first we need to have the data coming from to one source to Salesforce right we use normal simple we use webhooks we use integrations
there's a abstraction they are doing we don't know what they are doing in the back end so they are not asking us to do the coding when we are creating an agent in Salesforce they are giving a point and click interface to us in the back end what they are doing we don't know they are only giving us the option you can choose your models also you can make your model but how they are doing it they are not
Yeah.
letting us know so the atlas is something they are using there are some vectorization also they are using in the back end but how they are using we don't know.
So like as of now, like there are two methods. Either the model is trained with the data and the model can give you the input at the moment, or it may not know the answer of your question or the prompt. It is possible sometimes, right?
yeah
So in that case, RAG is used.
RAG they are using
yeah retrieval augment yeah
Yes.
they are using that
RAG they are using
Yeah, so in that case, I guess searching methods in databases are used in large vector databases. So that database mostly use GraphQL in that. So that's what I'm
so seriously I mean we are not even what's happening in the backend what exactly it is so that is like a core deep where I mean the CEO
They are not opening
of
how
AI
they are implementing they are not opening even Salesforce they are not giving us an option to choose the database so they are giving us the UI
and obviously GraphQL is used that is used GraphQL we have studied that GraphQL is used over there but the only thing is that if you go deep in that I mean Clara she and her team what they are doing exactly doing so that is something we are not aware I mean we are just about like that is something if I talk about Gemini or talk about ChatGPT so when we do certain things but these are such CRMs autonomous right agent force means autonomous task right so we are not aware but we are just GraphQL they're using right so again guys model types over here so obviously text to text it's just simple right application generation classification summarization translations so these extractions clustering so these are the like in applications I mean been done like it helps you to generate text to text generation, classification, summarize. Hey, you have seen, right? If you write a text, it gives you a code. It totally depends on the content. If you write a text, totally depends on your content, right? It gives you a summary bullet points. If you're writing a text about something from a LinkedIn post or something, it gives you with the rocket signatures, right? So these are certain things we can use text to text. Model types: text to video and text to 3D. I have worked on both, right? Because we have recently we have worked on a particular, an animation, so text to 3D, and that was we have used FreePix and other Canvas and other things we have used there, and we have used Gemini for that. Sorry, not Gemini, Imagine for 3D, right? So we have created a particular text, it gives us the video, and we have created a 3D model, just asking that we need. I believe you have multiple of websites where it gives you a lot of 3D characters, right? If you ask anything, right? Text to task. Hey, we can ask like text to task models are trained, performs to define tasks, actions based on text input. So probably this task can be a wide range of actions such as answering the questions. I told you about like the a particular example. I'm making a bread. Yes, bread. Enter it. What are you looking to add it? Jam, peanut butter, butter. It's asking me. So this is I've given a task to a model, and it's asking me. So it's a jam, right? So if you ask any particular questions, it would you say yes, no, or so you need to give and re-prompt it. And making a predictions or taking some sort of actions. For example, task to model is, navigate a web UI, right, or make changes to a doc through a GUI, right? So probably this is something like if you're giving a task to a model, which I've told you about the reinforcement. Here comes the reinforcement. When you're asking certain questions and you're learning that model, you're making the model learn our reinforcement, right? So this is what text to image, we are aware, right? When we write something, so it gives you the particular image. So here is the last part is very important. We should all know what exactly it is. So this is the application landscape of Gen AI. So in text over here, in text we have marketing content, sales emails, whatever you asking for text, right? It gives you support, chat, email, generating, writing, general writing, note taking, and many others, right? And code, we have code generation, code documentation, text to SQL, right? Web app builders. So you have many things. Images, image generation, consumer social, media advertising, then design. In speech, voice synthesis, right? Video editing, then generation. In 3D, we have 3D model scenes, and others we have music, gaming, audios, right? So this is what the application landscape is. So the overall, I would say that Gen AI is something that we should all understand about the model, and more understand about the input. Output only comes when you have a very good input, right? So no, I'm not talking in terms of the corporate, the B2B world, but for the B2Cs as well, right? When we ask certain things for you, obviously you might be asking for, we normally use ChatGPT for B2Bs, but I'm just taking an example that if you want to create your own 3D characters or something, so definitely you want to make your text should be well written, right? And now things are there, but ask, don't be too much naughty now in with chat GPTs or other things. Now your data is getting saved, your prompts are getting saved now, right? Not only with chat GPT, now with Gemini. So obviously Google has something that which stores your now prompt. They store your prompt now. They have a large set of database now, right? So probably I'm done with it over here, right? And the only thing is that upcoming sessions me and Arun will plan, right? Agenda would be explaining you about the ETL, right? So there are a few, a few inputs. There might be few output, and handouts. So I'll explain you about the handouts, right? What exactly? So you can learn it. I prepared it, and that will help you. And we'll do a practical as well, right? So we'd all require your attention towards bringing your laptop again, right? It will take not that too much of time, but we'll cover up in a portions, right? We cannot go on one through, but we'll start with Einstein Copilot. right, with prompt builder. Then we'll consider. Then we'll go with in creating the field generations. Then draft, right, which we'll be trying to set up, right. So that I'm done with it. Right? Thank you, man. Thank you.
So, so I think, right, AI में सीखना है कुछ तो फिर that is something you can plan over. Again, कि भाई आप जाके ट्रेनर में करो, ट्रेनर में there are some sales agent के ट्रेनर में बताए हुए हैं courses that you can try by your own, so you'll be getting more insight because once you'll be doing first time, you'll be getting lots of questions. You might be able to do it, but sometimes what is happening is you might not be able to get all the answers. So that is something Nimit can do that for you. So when you are doing second attempt, so you'll be getting more clarity on this one. And there are some tracks, guys. We also will be having one game, online one, but who are here can be done.